Hello everybody, welcome to episode 118 of Show For You. Today we'll be going over the Commander Red saga of the original Dragon Ball manga. Now, this saga, I love this saga because it has one of my favorite characters in all of Dragon Ball, Upa. I love Upa so much. Upa's the go for real. And it's generally just a really good arc all around. It's got a great antagonist with Tao Pai Pai and Commander Red, obviously, and Adjutant Black. I'm going to call him Black and Red because their titles aren't really necessary. But yeah, so just know Commander Red's like the head honcho of the Red Ribbon Army. But yeah, so we started this chapter with the introduction of Upa and Bora. Now, Bora is Upa's dad, and they're both kind of little natives who live around Karin Tower. And we see as the Red Ribbon Army has come to them because they have a Dragon Ball. And they're trying to get it, but Bora is defending the land and not really the Dragon Ball. And so we see as during this time, at one point, they're like talking with the Red Ribbon Army. They're like, they're going back. Well, not the Red Ribbon Army soldiers are going back to like the HQ, and they're like, yeah, we couldn't get it because this dude's defending it. And ultimately, he was like, you know what, take his son. Commander was like, take his son and make him exchange the ball. But luckily, in time, Goku flies by and is able to knock the dude out of the sky, save Upa. So he ends up coming down, yapping with Upa and all that. But Commander Red is like, yo, they put them all out. So he sends Tao Pai Pai after Goku. And Tao Pai Pai comes ultimately after killing General Blue. Ends up being like, yo, can I borrow this pillar from Commander Red? He ends up breaking it off the wall, sending it flying and right in that jaw and all the way to Karin Tower. And when he gets there, he puts the beating down. He puts his foot down. And so we see as the first person he takes out Bora. He gets Bora, and Bora's like, yeah, I'm going to defend my area. No, he is not. Tao Pai Pai ends up piecing up that dude. Then he kills him with his own spear. He is like, all right, bro, you want to try this? He ends up lifting him up with his own spear, then throwing him into the sky, and then spearing him midair. Like, that is a crazy combo. So Bora comes to the ground, dead. Upa's dad is dead. So then we see it's like, yo, Goku gets mad about this, and Goku starts fighting, and Goku gets the belt put to him, and then he gets beat as well, shot with the Dodonpa, which is essentially like the energy blast of Tao Pai Pai and the Turtle Hermit, not the Turtle Hermit, but the Crane Hermit school. And yeah, Goku presumably dies. But so we see Tao Pai Pai goes flying off, and his clothes were kind of badly destroyed by a Kamehameha from Goku, but ultimately he ended up hitting with the Tonpa and everything. But yeah, so we see as he then ends up going to a town where he's getting this like tailor. He's like, "Yo, make me some clothes and have them to me in 3 days." But we see in this time that Commander Ray calls him up. He's like, "Yo, you forgot a Dragon Ball back there. You got the three, but you didn't get a fourth one that was back there." So he's like, you know what? I'll go get it after my 3 days because the kid's dead. So I'll be back whenever he's dead, whenever I get my clothes made. And so we see actually the Goku did not get killed here. The Dragon Ball was actually protecting where the Dodonpa blasted, and it hit like right here, and that's where the Dragon Ball was. And so Goku didn't really take any damage besides getting beat up by Tao Pai Pai. And we see as Upa is burying his dad, he goes to ready to bury Goku, and Goku's like, whoa, I'm not dead. And they get to talking, and he's like, yeah, what about Karin Tower? And he's asking about it. And and Upa ends up revealing that, yo, there's a martial arts god that lives up there. And the few people have tried to go up there. And we also saw that Bora talked a little bit about Goku with this beforehand. Bora mentioned how he tried to get up there in his younger days, was unsuccessful. And so ultimately Upa's like, yo, I think you should try it, Goku, and try and learn some more so you can beat Tao Pai Pai. So Goku ends up trying to get up there, and ultimately he ends up running all the way up and getting there in, I believe, 3 days? Crap, I don't remember that time. But he ends up getting there pretty fast. And when he gets up there, he's expecting some like powerful, big, macho man martial arts individual, and he finds a cat. And prior to this, Upa had told him about how there was some holy divine water up there that if you drink, you become super powerful. That's why Goku went up there. And we see as he's looking around, he yaps at Karin. He's like, "Yo, where's the water at?" And Karin's like, "Oh, the water's right here, but you'll have to get it from me." And so we see as they start fighting and all of that. And ultimately, Goku was unsuccessful in the first day. And at one point, Karin even throws the water. Like, well, he doesn't throw the water. He throws some item of Goku's down, and Goku has to go all the way to the ground to acquire it. Then he has to go all the way back up Karin Tower. So it actually took him 3 hours this time, which was substantially faster. And he gets up and he's still trying to get the holy water, or the divine holy water, from Karin. And throughout this, we see that Karin mentions about how only one other person has ever been able to get the water, and it was Master Roshi, who it took 3 years to get from Karin. But Goku's like, you know what? I can't have time to waste. I gotta go get the Dragon Balls, and I gotta revive Bora. So we see that he goes very vehemently about this. He tries all the tricks, but he ultimately is unsuccessful until he gets to the third day. And as he's pushing on the third day, he is ultimately able to acquire the holy water, and he drinks it, or the divine spirit water, and drinks it, and it does nothing. Karin is like, yeah, the water was just normal, regular water, and the actual benefit, the strength gain from it was the training of and conditioning that you got for trying to get it from me. And we see that this powers up Goku a lot. So, after this 3 days, we see as Tao Pai Pai's tailor is made of the clothes, and he's like, the tailor's like, yo, where's my feet? And Tao Pai Pai's like, you're gonna ask me for money? He's like, okay, I'll kill one person for you as your payment. He's like, I don't want to kill anyone, so Tao Pai Pai ends up killing that dude. But yeah, so then after that, Tao Pai ends up pulling back up the Karin Tower, but now Goku is prepped and ready. And we see as they start fighting, and Goku goes to town this time. He's beating the crap out of Tao Pai. They have a clash of beams, and instead of getting beat, the Dandanpa and Kamehameha cancel each other out at the center. And we see as they continue to fight, Goku ultimately keeps the upper hand, and we even see as Tao Pai pulls out a blade at one point, but Upa is able to throw Goku his Naobu, or power pole, and ultimately Goku breaks the sword, and they keep fighting. And ultimately Tao Pai gets on his hands and knees, he's like, please Goku, don't kill me, I'll be good. And then right after that, he throws a grenade at Goku, and then tries to jump and like fly away. And then Goku knocks the grenade back and blows Tao Pai up midair. So with this, Goku regains his Dragon Balls, and then we see as he is now ready to go and get the other ones after having just assured that Upa was safe and all that. So he ends up getting on Kintaun and heading towards the Red Ribbon Army, where there are 2 other Dragon Balls at the moment. But then we see, as for a brief panel, as Commander Violet, I believe it's Commander, no, it's not Commander Violet, I believe it's General Violet, is pulling up with a Dragon Ball. It's actually one of the few female individuals in the Red Ribbon Army. She pulls up with a Dragon Ball and gives it to Commander Red and all that. And so, well, no, they only have one Dragon Ball at Red Ribbon Army HQ, and then they bring the other one with General Violet. But yeah, so this Dragon Ball is being there, so there's 2 at Dragon Ball HQ, so Goku is, not Dragon Ball, Red Ribbon Army HQ, so Goku is heading over there. So we see as Goku ultimately ends up pulling up on Red Ribbon Army HQ, and he starts single-handedly duking out some punishment, like some biblical punishment. Bro is going around sliming everyone. Not sliming, but like doing some damage. And we see, ultimately, he's progressing until he almost gets to the top floors. But during this, we actually see an internal skirmish. Because we learn that Commander Red's kind of breaking down all that. He's getting mad that Goku's here. And he's like, man, all of this because I just wanted to be taller. Which was my wish of being taller. And Black is like, yo, I was valiantly following you. I dedicated so much time to you. Somebody lost because you wanted to be taller. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I thought you wanted world domination. So Black ultimately ends up sliming out Red. And so we see as Goku ends up getting to Black with Red being dead. And they end up talking, and Black tries to recruit Goku, but Goku's like, no, I do not work for bad guys. I never work for a bad guy. And so Black ultimately ends up trying to fight Goku, but Goku easily pieces him up because Black is not a martial artist by no means. And so after this, we see that Black ultimately ends up pulling out a mech suit of his. It's called like his battle jacket. I believe that's what it's called. Tech jacket, perhaps? But yeah. So we see as he pulls this out, and then him and Goku start fighting. And with this, ultimately, Goku's able actually to do pretty well against this battle jacket. And throughout, we see Goku's, like, doing well. He ends up ripping off the cap of, essentially the windshield of it at a moment. And then we see as a Black prepares to shoot, like, a massive missile at Goku. And as he's leaning down to shoot it, because he has to, like, aim at Goku since it's on his back, and he's aiming down, and it shoots at Goku, and Goku just blasts, like, knocks it out of the way, kicks it out of the way, and yeah, it hurts his foot, but it goes flying all the way to a mountain and blows it up. And then Commander Black's like, now Commander Black's like, you know what, I ain't risking this, I'm gonna let the Red Ribbon Army live another day. So he goes and tries to fly off, but Goku pulls the back on, well, I won't spoil it yet because it'll be coming in a review soon. Soon. One of the best arcs in all of Dragon Ball. But yeah, Goku pulls like the move and he ends up blasting through, like Supermaning through Commander Black's mech and blowing him up. But yeah, after that, Goku has successfully disbanded the Red Ribbon Army. And now we saw throughout this a bit as the people on Roshi's Island were like, yo, we actually they called up Yamcha at one point because they needed an airplane to get off of Roshi's Island, but they end up pulling up and they see that Goku is heading toward Red Ribbon Army because Bulma made a recon vehicle and it was searching around and ultimately saw Goku heading that way. And they're like, yo, Goku's gonna need some help. So they ultimately end up building a team and heading towards the Red Ribbon Army HQ. And once they get there, they're like, yo, we gotta go help Goku. But Goku, they see like a ship coming toward him, or a UFO essentially. And it's kind of growing toward him, growing closer toward him, growing closer toward him. And then we see as it's Goku, and they're like, yo, well, goodness, you left Goku, and that you weren't stupid enough to fight the Red Ribbon Army. Like, Goku's like, huh? I fought the Red Ribbon Army easily. And they like do not leave him at all. They send Puar to check, and like Puar's like, yeah, they got absolutely decimated. They're like, what? And Goku ends up explaining how he went to Karin Tower and all of that, and explains that to Roshi. And Roshi's obviously impressed by this because it took him 3 years to get up there. But yeah, so after this, we see Goku discusses how, though he was successful in this, he still needs one Dragon Ball, and they go looking for it, and they can't find it. They go back to Roshi's Island for a bit, and they can't find it because it's not on the radar anywhere, and they presume that possibly something ate it, but they don't know for certain. And ultimately, Roshi mentions, yo, there's a person around here who can go and find any item that is lost, and her name is Fortune Teller Baba. Now that kind of starts leading into the next arc, so I won't discuss much on that. But ooh, I love this arc. I loved how Pai Pai as a villain, though he is so like very like this arc of the Commander Red Saga is very short, and Tao Pai Pai is barely in the story. I mean, Upa's barely in the story too, but I still love Upa. Upa's my goat for real. He's at least in 2 arcs, and in GT, I've not watched all of GT. I haven't watched any of GT actually, but I love that clip of Upa being in there because Upa my goat for real. But yeah, it was just a great arc. I love the dynamic between Goku and Upa. I love Goku's noble desire to help revive Bora, so Upa doesn't have to be alone defending Karin Tower. It's just very sweet. I love how pure-hearted Goku is in all of the original Dragon Ball. It's phenomenal. But yeah, that's all there really was for the Commander Red Saga. That's all I really have for episode 118 of Show Reviews. So thank you very much for watching.